Hi, my name is Sanko and I am a content creator with 250k plus followers across platforms. And over the last 5 years that I have been creating content, I have spent the most time crafting compelling script. As a beginner, you might think a better camera or better editing skills, better asset packs will make your videos better. And I honestly used to think the same, but after investing in a good camera, some good gear and good editing, it is clear as day that the most important part, the most crucial part of a video is the script, which is also the representative of the most important thing in any kind of media, that is a story. So if you're a new content creator, you are in luck, because in this video we're going to talk about the absolute basics of script writing and the things that you need to keep in your mind to make your script just a little bit better. Point number one is to know your audience. You have to understand that a script is not just a few information and some words on a paper. It is much more than that. It is actually used to communicate with your audience and to first understand what kind of communication you're going to cater to, what kind of information you're going to give them. You have to understand their problems, their needs, and you have to overall understand your audience. Are your audience school students, they are college students or working professionals? Are your audience cricket lovers? You have to understand what do they love, what do they want, and how can you help them with your content. Either you can entertain them, you can make them feel relatable with your content, or you can help them directly with your content. But so first you have to understand what kind of audience you actually have. But if you are just starting out on Instagram, YouTube, or any other social media, you do not really have an audience, this is a very good time to actually choose the audience. So actually, like, pick a notebook and write a persona like this guy who is currently studying in college, who wants to make more money, who wants to become financially independent. This guy is my target audience. If you have this clear from day one, I guarantee you that you will be growing at least at double the pace of what you would have been growing without haphazard content and directionless content. Number two is that structure is key. For a structure of a script, we already talked about how you can tell a story. If you have missed that storytelling video, you can look at it right over here. And in that video, I talk a lot more in depth about storytelling, how to craft a story, what are the different parts of the story, and how do you structure all of that. But for the sake of this video, I'll just talk about the three-act structure, the layout, the climax, and the resolution. The layout is the part of the story, or the part of the script, the first one third of the script where we tell about the situation where our character is, what is the things that we have in our hands, what is the problem that we're going to solve. That is the layout or the plot. Now, in case of a story, the second part is the climax. In case of a script, an informational video, the second part is the body, where you give the actual information that you promised in the introduction or the plot or the layout. And at the end, it is a resolution if it's a story, or if it's an informative video, it is an outro. It is some CTA, and all of those things you will understand later, but just focus on these things. You have a good intro starting with a hook, then you go into a body where you give the actual value, and then you come into an outro. As simple as that. And you are already understanding that different types of videos have different types of structure. I personally have made this beautiful Notion template which has these prompts where you don't have to think much. You can just follow these prompts line by line, and your script or your story will be in place without even thinking or worrying about it. Because in most cases, we end up overthinking our scripts or overthinking our story and don't write anything. These prompts actually help you do all of that. Now, this Notion template is not just for scripting. It is an absolute complete weapon for any content creator, be it a beginner or be it a very advanced content creator. It has things to plan your content, store your ideas, then execute your content, write scripts, make short list, shoot them, create your content, and also work with a team. If you're working with an editor, scriptwriter, or any of that, you can assign work to them, and all of these things in one single template. If you are interested, you can check it out in the description below. But let's move on to the next point of the video. Now, at point number three, I am going to urge you to write conversationally. Do not write a script like a movie script. Do not write a script like it is going to be in a book. It is an YouTube video after all. You have to speak it to the camera. And although you're speaking it to the camera, there are thousands of people who are on the other side of the camera who are listening to you talk. They want to listen to a friendly person talking. So they want to listen to a friendly person talking. They don't want to listen to someone reading a book, right? If they're going on YouTube or Instagram or any visual media platform. So write your script like you're talking to a friend. Now that makes the whole thing a lot easier, because you pick a topic, you pick a problem, you pick a solution. So now you just have to assume that you're talking to a friend. If your friend has that particular problem and you know the solution, how are you going to tell it to him in 500 words or 1,000 words, and that is exactly what you need in the script. Coming at number four is never the first draft. This just basically says your first draft should never be your final script. It is never honestly good enough or up to the mark to get into a particular video. Now, this has two different effects to it, and both are honestly positive. First things first is that a lot of times we will have an idea, but we will not start writing because we think our writing has to be perfect and we have to write the most beautiful thing or the most articulate thing that we can write. And that pressure somehow stops us from starting to write. So, what we're going to do, we're going to create this mentality in our mind that the first draft is absolute bullshit. It is not going to make into the video. It is just a place for you to put in your ideas, literally throw your ideas and see what sticks, see which makes sense together, and then take them onto an edited final draft. This does two things. As I said, one is the mentality. It helps you overthink less. And secondly, it just makes your videos, your scripts better, because the more times you do revisions on a script, the better the script becomes. But there is obviously another side of the coin. Don't get riled up on this infinite cycle of editing and re-editing your scripts. Maybe 2 to 3 edits are more than enough in almost all the cases. Coming on to point number five, and this is something that I also mentioned in the storytelling video, is to use visuals. A script does not just have to be words, does not just have to be the direction of what you are going to say. You can also include things like, oh, I want this scene over here, I want this scene over here, I want a scene of me reading a book, I want a b-roll of me walking in the park. All of these things, if you add them to the script, it helps you visualize the video better. So whenever you are editing the script for later, for like a final draft of the script, you can actually visualize the video while talking through the script, and it helps you understand the video better. You know, some things are not going with these visuals, I can maybe change the script, or this visual is not perfectly aligning, this visual is a little too fast for this particular sentence that is coming out to be way too long, we can need to shorten it. And all of these things will start making more sense when you start thinking about the visuals when you're writing the script as well. And if you're working in any visual media, be it ad making or be it YouTube, Instagram, or anywhere else, you have to keep the visuals in mind along with the script. So those are the 5 points that are going to make your scripts better if you are just starting out or you're intermediate or a little bit advanced. I think anyone and everyone can take something out of this video. Let me know in the comments what you learned from this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.